Hey guys, today I am starting a new series that I'm super excited about for the Salt and Light YouTube channel. And so I'm calling it my lifestyle series because I want to use it to just focus on different general life situations, topics, things that I've learned in my life personally, different questions you may have. I'm going to do polls on my Instagram just so you guys can ask questions. Things like dating or singleness, or I'm about to enter the college season, so I'll be using that experience to talk about college life once I get there, and things like that. So I'm super excited about it, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. So because it is about the middle of January, I thought it would be appropriate to talk about goals and why we should be setting goals and why goals are better than resolutions. And just some common mistakes we make with goals and some practical goals, things like that. So I think by now, oftentimes this is like about the time where people are starting to slow down and give up on their resolutions. Not everyone, but this is where it kind of happens. And I think oftentimes we set resolutions and just like, I'm gonna do this, but then we don't have any way to achieve that. We don't plan how to achieve it. Like, I'm gonna work out every day this year. I'm gonna read my Bible all the time and things like that. These resolutions and goals that we make for ourselves that we don't even know how to achieve or how to get there. And so I wanted to start out with kind of defining the word goal. And so what I came up with is that a goal is simply an expectation we set for ourselves in hopes to improve in a certain area. We don't set goals as human beings unless we see need for improvement and we want to improve upon ourselves and make ourselves a better person, essentially. If we don't think we need to improve, we're not going to set goals. And that's wrong, because as humans, we are broken, we are fallen, we are sinful, and we always need improvement. And especially as believers, our call is to, like Romans 12:1-2 says, to transform ourselves essentially into the likeness of Christ by renewing our minds. And so 2 Corinthians 5:17, the old is gone, the new has come. Behold, we're a new creation. And so the New Testament talks a lot about transforming ourselves into the image of Christ, which takes lots of time and lots of prayer and really time spent with the Lord to be able to even come close to who Jesus is, which we will never be able to, but that is our goal as Christians, is to exemplify Jesus to the rest of the world. So, with that being said, I want to talk about some common mistakes that we make with setting goals as believers. Because I am a very, very strong Christian, everything that I do, I want to be focused on Christ and focused on the Lord. I don't want to have anything to do with what I want or what I say and make it all focused on me or focused on worldly things. I want everything to be pointed to Jesus, and that's my goal with Salt and Light, is to be the salt and the light, and encourage you guys to be the salt and the light. So some common mistakes we make with setting goals as believers, and if you're not a believer, I hope that you can kind of learn from this, and hopefully in your future walk with the Lord or your current walk with the Lord. So the first one is we set them too high, which causes us to burn ourselves out or to give up. Oftentimes we set goals that are really, really high, as in, I, for a long time, set a goal for myself to read the New Testament every year, and I never achieved it until last year. But I didn't know how to work up to that, and I wasn't used to reading my Bible all the time, and so that was something that I needed to really discipline myself into and work up to, reading my Bible more and more so that I can actually have a set plan for the year. Or other goals as in working out. We're not used to working out, but we're all of a sudden going to work out every day, and then we burn our bodies out because we're not used to that, and we haven't warmed up to that yet, and then we'll just give up eventually because they're too high, or we have too much of a workload that we put on ourselves mentally or physically, and then we just burn out. And so I think we need to have a mindset of, I am a human, I am not God, I cannot just do everything right away. And so we need to have this mindset of, I need to slowly build up to wherever you want to go. And even things with, like, for example, walking by the Spirit and portraying the fruits of the Spirit, that's not going to happen overnight because we can't. And so I think that's something that we need to work up to that. And we cannot set super high expectations that are like way up here and we can't reach them. I think little by little, we need to take steps to build up to the goal. Second one is we don't set them prayerfully. As in we set them on our own accord and we hope to achieve them by our own strength, which again, we can't do that. As believers, we are called to do everything for the Lord. There are so many verses in Proverbs, for example, that's saying we have so many plans in our heart, but only the Lord's plan will prevail. Or 1 Corinthians 10:31, I believe, talks about like whatever we do, doing it all for the glory of God. And so the whole Bible talks about doing everything for the glory of God. And when we do it on our own accord, we are going to fall short because we don't have the strength to do everything that we want to do or everything that we hope to do. Or what we want to do is not God's plan for us. And so it's super important that when we make goals for ourselves, we set them prayerfully and we take time to really listen to the Lord and to lean into the Spirit and see like what kind of goals am I going to make for myself, whether they're life goals, whether they are yearly goals, or I also make myself monthly goals. So they're just littler ones. And so we need to do that prayerfully. We need to do that by the Lord. And what is your will for me? And what things can I do to bring you more glory this month or this week even? Thirdly, we forget to set goals in our walk with the Lord. So as I've been talking about with just becoming closer to the image of Christ, we forget to set goals in our faith, like as our faith as believers. And I think that is really, really important. Is to be setting goals for ourselves. Maybe it's a little bit worldly, but I think it's important to set goals for ourselves to be able to grow closer to the Lord, as in little goals every week, about how much time in the Word you want to spend and how much time in prayer you want to spend, and trying to build upon that and get more and more and more and spend more time in the Word and more time in prayer. And how much of the Word do you want to read this year? Or different books, like I want to read all these books or listen to these podcasts or something like that. I think we need to be taking time to think about how can I grow in my walk with the Lord, and not just sitting there and just hoping your faith grows, because your faith is not going to grow by just sitting there and hoping that it grows. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes work, and it takes lots and lots of prayer to be able to grow with Jesus. And he wants that relationship with you. Just as we can't build a friendship overnight, we can't build a relationship with the Lord overnight, even though we wish we could. But I think it takes time and work for us to be more diligent and disciplined in even praying every day. I think some people, it doesn't happen super fast. Move on. So, and fourthly, we don't set any goals. I think, like I was saying before, I think it's a problem when we just kind of sit and say, like, I'm fine. I don't have anywhere I need to improve on. I don't have anywhere I want to grow. I don't need to set any goals. I just am going to just kind of live my life. I think it's really important for us to sit back and kind of self-evaluate and be like, where are areas that I can grow in? Because we can grow in a heck of a lot of areas every single day. We keep learning and learning and learning more, and the Lord keeps revealing to us more and more, things that we need to change, whether that's like a heart posture or an outwardly thing that we do, or just showing more kindness to other people, loving other people. I think there's a lot of ways we can grow in our personal lives and our walk with the Lord, in ways that he can show us, this is something I want you to grow in for some, reason. And so I think going back to prayerfully setting goals, spending time to prayerfully say, Lord, what is your will for me? And how can you work through my heart and through me to better give you glory and to better spread the gospel and to better be your light in this world? And so that's essentially what I wanted to talk about common mistakes with setting goals. So with all that being said, I believe that as believers, it is important for us to prayerfully be setting goals in ways that we can improve in being bolder in our walk with the Lord and spreading the gospel, and even in our personal walk with the Lord, ways we can be growing our hearts for love for the Lord. That is something we need to continually grow in, and I need to continually grow in, is just wanting to spend time with Him and wanting to be in His presence and wanting to just grow in my love for the Lord. And so I think that's really important. And so some of my personal goals that I've made for this year is my plan is to read the entire Bible this year, which I've never done that before, and I've talked about this in another video, but that is something that my goal is. And so every month I have the different books I want to read. I want to read, grow more in salt and light, and grow more in just outreach and reaching people. And so things like that, and then other health goals, and when I get to college, goals with that, and setting a routine for myself. And so things like that are just, I think, some helpful goals is just reading the Word. How can you be a better friend to people? How can you reach more people? Etc. And so anyways, I'm super excited about this series and different topics I'm going to begin to talk about. So I just want to talk about those goals and stuff like that today, and I hope that helped. Please give me any feedback, comments, questions below. And yeah, see you guys later.